For my wife. Copyright 2010 Greta Krafsig. Chapter 1. When you think of romance, of love at first sight, you remember the blonde you ran into in front of the elevator, or that long-legged brunette secretary that would give you silent smiles every morning when you asked her if you had any new messages. Well, this is my love story. I didn't meet her at a bar scene, toss her my best pickup line at a friend's party, or even get stuck with her on one of those oh-so-awaited blind dates. If you asked me, as a 6-year-old boy when I sat next to her that day, if I knew from the time I saw her that she would be my soulmate, I would have cringed at the mention of the word love. Instead, I would associate it with the little girls that liked to follow me around, and my mother's long kisses with my father. Love was a no-no word to a child that young. Yet, I sat next to her that day, and somewhere in the back of my mind, I fell in love with her. It was in Miss Wilson's first grade class that I met her. We'd been asked to draw a picture of our family on that first day, our teacher's way of saying she needed a break from our hectic activities. She sat Kayla and me at the same table. Otherwise, I wouldn't have noticed her at all that year. We both sat at the small table designated for coloring and other messy projects when I reached across for the blue crayon. Blue was my favorite color, probably still is today. After shuffling through our small stack of crayon, stubs and discolored wrapper fragments without finding the blue, I looked across the table at her.
What's your name?
Kayla, what's yours?
Kayla. You have my crayon.
I pointed to the blue thing she had in her hand.
It's blue.
She said, looking up at me from under her long girlish lashes.
I need it to color the grass.
Grass isn't blue, dummy.
I reached over to take the crayon from her, but she drew back.
It looks better if it's blue. Regular grass is boring.
She gave me a smile. Her front tooth was missing.
If I give you the purple for the grass, will you give me the blue?
I picked up the purple crayon. It was the nicest one we had in our little pile, clean and new from a fresh box of Crayolas.
Not until I'm finished.
She went back to coloring her blue grass. I sat and watched as the blue crayon became smaller and smaller in her fingers.
You're done.
I shouted, grabbing for the crayon.
I'm not. Now I have to color my brother. He has to be blue also.
I want to turn.
I whined. I got up from my little chair and walked around to where she sat.
Not until I'm done. I told you that already.
She colored her brother's face. The crayon grew smaller still.
You have to be done,
I said, hoping from one foot to the other. She ignored me. Left with no other option, I did the only other thing I could do. Reaching for the crayon, I tried to grab it out of her hand.
Hey, you're mean. It's still my turn.
She bit down on my hand and left marks that I would claim weeks later I could still see. Jerking her hand away from mine, she took the blue crayon and put it up her nose.
See? Now you won't take it. I told you it was mine.
I crinkled my nose in disgust. I didn't want it now. Years later I would realize it was her that I wanted, from the very moment she stuck the blue crayon up her nose. End of Chapter 1.